G'day guys, it's Gareth here for another train video. This time all about the last ever steam train rides on the Bankstown line. That's because they're going to be converting the Bankstown line, which is, let's face it, over 100 years old roughly, right? They're going to be converting that to Metro. So today is Saturday the 14th of September. There are two steam train rides leaving Central Station to Bankstown return. And of course, tomorrow, the next day, will be the 15th. Two more steam trains leaving Central to Bankstown and return. I will be getting the very last steam train to ever ride on the Bankstown line. It's a really sad prospect to see no more old Sydney trains or even new Sydney electric trains on the Bankstown line, because they are converting it to Metro. This video will consist of a bunch of footage that I have gotten myself at different locations, here, there, everywhere. But I'll be combining all the clips together, and I really hope you enjoy this video. If you do, give us a like, subscribe. It really helps the channel. Come join me for a nice, fun ride. Here we go.
Okay, so let's have a look where we are and where we're heading to. So we're currently at Central Station. Our steam train ride will go all the way down to Lidcombe, turning left and left again, and our train will sit at Bankstown for a couple of minutes before slowly heading back to Central. So the pink line between Bankstown and Sydenham is the line that's currently getting converted from heavy rail to Metro. And unlike other videos that I've made in the past on this YouTube channel, this video will definitely be a little different. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in the past, I usually tried to have the 50-50 rule going on to try and keep the viewer retention as high as possible. Usually I'm on the screen for 50% of the time, talking about something, and then I show where I'm at and what I'm doing the other 50%, roughly 50-50, right? Try and keep the viewer retention as high as possible, but this is very different. Because after today, after these last 2 days, right, you'll never see, no one will ever see a steam train or a steam locomotive on this 130-year-old Bankstown train line, because once it's converted from heavy rail to Metro, it'll just never happen again. So I didn't want to make this video about me. I just really wanted to focus on the sights and the sounds of what I was capturing over these 2 days. So, am I still in this video? Well, of course, I'm in this video a lot. Just nowhere near as much as I usually am. I just really wanted to capture and really document this amazing historic moment. I hope you enjoy the video.
Put the guy.
The time literally just turned 1:01 p.m. The train's supposed to leave at 1, but it just reconnected at 1:01, so I should really get on my carriage, which, as it turns out, is the very last one. So I jumped on one of the other carriages just to be able to walk down because the train's about to leave.
I think this is where I'm supposed to be.
Okay, a bit stressed, but I just found my seat, number 14, and look what I got. A table to myself, a couple of seats to myself, which is kind of cool. We've got a couple of windows, which we can open. I think we'll do that right now. Takes 2 hands to do it, but there you go. It's a pretty good view. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And we are leaving. We are actually leaving right now. later, everybody. See you later. Hell yes. Left Central. If you guys are liking this content, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. It will really help the channel. Really help the channel. Literally just past the Newtown train station, just past the Newtown.
How long have you been down before?
I think you've got another.
I seem to have some coal on my face, but I think I'm going to go try and get some shots over here now. So there are 4 tracks over there, but at some point we actually have to merge to go that way, to literally go back around on the Bankstown line back to Central. this is pretty much where we have now turned left at Lidcombe, going towards the Bankstown line to then double back onto Central. Yeah, it's very sad that this line is not going to be used for any of the Sydney trains ever again. Only Metro, Bankstown line, Metro only. If I was in charge, I don't think I would have done it that way. I know I wouldn't have done it that way. But very interesting. Definitely seem to be slowing down now while we branch off onto the Bankstown line. I think that now that we've turned onto the Bankstown line, I think this is probably the best side of the train to be sitting on, the right-hand side, facing forward, the right-hand side, because in Australia and England, we travel on the left, right, on the left, left, correct, right, which means the incoming trains will be coming on this side, which we're getting a lot more rail traffic on this side. So having said that, with the Bankstown line on the other side, there are still tracks that are only dedicated for freight rails. So if I find a freight train on the left, I will get up and try and film that for you guys. Just arrived at Bankstown. Sure. Look how dark this train is right now. There's no lights on. It's amazing. Nah, I don't want any on. That's perfect as it is, I think. Yeah.
You happy with that?
So as I am getting different footage from here and there and everywhere, this is actually one of the stations we were at the other day when the train came through. Hope you guys enjoy the footage. All right, so I am waiting here at Bankstown for the steam train to come past. And I just realized, I don't really use the Bankstown line, I'm more of a T1 Western line guy myself, but they're actually not going to be using this platform for the Sydney Metro when it's finally built. When it finally comes to Bankstown, there are 2 extra platforms that will be just for Metro. Interesting.
It's patrol trains in station 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I just found something really interesting in Bankstown here in Sydney. I didn't realize Zac Efron was a huge fan of this place here in Bankstown. What the hell? I don't think he knows about that. I don't think he does. Just grabbed myself a Vietnamese roll in Bankstown waiting for the steam train to come, and the freaking Red Rattler's just come. Cool.
Wynyard, Circular Quay, St James and Museum. First stop, Wynyard, then Wirral, Regent's Park, Berala and Lidcombe.
Here it comes. The bird's flying off now. It's coming because we just heard the steam train whistle. There it is.
The train on platform 1 goes to Special only.
Very cool, guys. Very cool.
of mates used to live in the area.
Sure.
I want to get a photo where the old goods shed used to be on the platform.
Sure.
It's no longer. You'll see it up here a bit, just on the other end of the platform.
Point it out to me. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Guys.
You'll see.
Bye.
See you guys.
Platform 1
Maybe
goes
it's
to
the old road.
Sydenham
Really?
via Sydenham.
Through the bank
First
there.
Yeah.
Hey mate.
Sydenham, then St Peter's.
The new metro platform is there. Yeah.
That's for the new metro there.
Yeah.
That's going to be the new metro platform.
Sure. Because we are on the Bankstown line right now, if you look to the left and to the right of the train, you see all these big black fences that are new. They've been building these fences for when the metro trains come through, as opposed to the old heavy rail, because these new metro trains don't have a driver, and I'm guessing that's why they need these new fences to really stop people from walking on the tracks, because I mean, there's no driver to basically stop if you're on the track, right? Okay, little birdie. Good birdie.
Help us keep your station clean. Please put your rubbish in the bins provided.
of course, when Sydney got rid of its old aging red rattlers in the very, very early 90s, and some of the S sets, I think a lot of the S sets that had the windows that you could open up and close like that, they ended up getting rid of them at some point as well, right? Early 2000s, I think. So the luxury of being able to stick your body part out the window has been gone for a long, long time, right? Obviously with the new metro, when the new metros are running up and down on this line, that will well and truly not be a thing that you'll be able to ever do ever again. Not that you can do it on the current trains, obviously, but there's no more steam events happening on this line. So at this point onwards, I believe it is basically freight rail on the left-hand side, whereas there wasn't any rail there before, right? Let's have a look. Now, if you look closely, the brand new fence on the left, right, has been built for the metro, but not all the segments have been joined together currently. So, I mean, you could just walk from one side to the other, but I'm pretty sure they'll fix that when the metro is actually running, right? train may have slowed down a little bit, but it is still so windy right now. As you guys can see, I'm at multiple different locations, and yes, I have a different outfit on, so yes, 2 days of content. Here it's, I can hear it coming right now. I literally just heard it.
The next train to arrive on platform 1 goes to City Circle via Sydenham. First stop Marrickville, then Sydenham, St Peters, Erskineville, Redfern, Central.
So I realized a historic Red Rattler F set was on its way, so I stuck around a little longer just to get the shot.
Good. Of course, we were just at Dulwich Hill before this train actually came before. I hope you guys are liking this footage so far. If you are, give us a like and subscribe. It will really help the channel. And just freaking do it. Just do it. Do it now. Do it now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Do it now. Thank you.
Sydenham station. If anyone wants to change at Sydenham for the metro service,
Unfortunately, we weren't lucky enough to get a freight rail train going through, but that's okay. You guys get to see the track, right? This bit of the track right now is rusty as hell, and this is going to be a part of the metro. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's on it right now. But if you were to follow the track, leave the Sydney station, platform 1 and 2, I believe, and is of course where the Sydney Metro currently terminates. There you go, it's broken up again. Literally just through those gates. What the hell? Steam trains here in Sydenham. How cool is this? It's literally just stopped right here for the moment. So look at the contrast between this. On the left, at Sydenham, platform 1, we've got a Sydney Metro going to Tallawong. And on the right, we have a beautiful steam train, 3265. Look at the excitement, everyone's loving this right now. Just started to move again. Hopefully we'll be able to get an actual metro train. There's an airplane above me. Let's try and get a metro train. Let's go, quick. Oh, this side. And there it is. Sydney Metro currently sitting there at the terminus, Sydenham station. The metro basically goes to a tunnel. That's pretty cool. I like that shot. joining the main Western line, the T1, back to Central right now. It's been an amazing journey so far. I think the driver that just drove past us in the Oscar was like, get your hands out of the way. That was really, really loud. As soon as the train was right next to me, I could feel how hot the train was. Like the heat radiation was coming to me from, I don't know, a good 3-4 feet or 6 feet away, right? It's obviously a very, very hot machine, and I could very much feel it. There was no steam pushed onto me, but it felt like the sun was shining on you. That's how hot it was, and it was actually a very nice feeling since today is very cool. But guys, I really hope you liked this video, a very historic video that I wanted to capture of the Bankstown loop. No longer being a loop, unfortunately. If you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and I shall see you for the next video. See you guys.